the wit that one hurts. Fine. So today we're just going to very quickly go through the summary. Okay, recap the summary of the story. Then we go to the themes, and after that I'll be discussing with you the question answers, okay, which are very important for your examination. All right. So if we recapitulate, then the first point that we get of the story is that the story is set where? The story is set in the court of Krishna Devaraya. Correct? Who is he? The emperor of Vijayanagar Empire. Vijayanagar Empire. Okay. Vijayanagar. One second, my dear students. Vijayanagar Empire. Is it clear? So the story is set in the court of Krishna Devaraya, which is in Vijayanagar. Okay. So the next point that we can recall is the king was Krishna Devaraya. The king was very proud of what? He was very proud of his poetry. Correct? He was very proud of his poetry, and the plot says that he once came to shared a poem with his queen. And the queen being extremely tired, she being tired, failed to pay attention. Okay, failed to pay attention to the king's poem, and she started yawning. Clear? She started yawning, which made the king think that she was disrespecting him. Clear? It made the king think that she was disrespecting him, but in reality that was not the true situation. Then the next point, what happened? The king being hurt and angry. What happened? The king being hurt and angry, he stopped speaking to his wife. Clear? He stopped speaking to his wife, and because of this, the whole palace was filled with gloom. Okay, gloom and darkness. No excitement. Okay, there was no excitement amongst the courtiers. Then what happened? Then the palace, you can also tell that the palace atmosphere, okay, the very atmosphere was tensed. All right, the very atmosphere was tensed and joyless. Okay, and joyless. Why? Due to the quarrel, or due to their quarrel. Is it clear, my dear students? I guess till this much everything is clear. Now what happened? Now the king, being sad, she sought for what? She sought help. She sought help from whom? Students recall very fast. From Tenali Rama. Clear? She sought help from Tenali Rama. Why? Because we know that Tenali Rama was a very witty person. Okay, he was a witty person, means he was an intelligent person whom the queen knew would be able to solve, who the queen knew that would be able to solve the problem. Now what happened? This Tenali Rama, he agreed. Okay, agreed, he agreed to help the queen. He agreed to help the queen using a very clever plan. How did he think of helping? Using a very, sorry students, using a very clever plan. Is it clear? I guess till this much everything is clear. So after this, what happened? I guess my students can recall very nicely. Then Tenali was thinking to bring in a plan so that he can solve the situation. So what happened? The court, there was a discussion going on. What was the discussion all about? Discussion on how to improve paddy cultivation, right? Paddy cultivation. How to improve paddy cultivation in the empire. There were many people giving suggestions. What were the suggestions? The suggestions were, the first thing was to use good quality manure, to use good quality manure, right? And then another thing was, the other thing was to improve okay, so the other suggestion was to improve the water system, means the irrigation, to improve the irrigation facilities. Okay, so these were the suggestions that were actually given by the courtiers. However, what about Tenali? What did Tenali suggest? Our Tenali, he is a very witty person, intelligent person. See, he came and told the king. Okay, what did he tell? That I have come up with some special seeds. Special seed. Sorry, one second. So he came up with some special, sorry. Where's my pen? Yes. With some special seeds. Okay, now as he brought some special seeds to tell that if we sow these seeds, then the harvest will be three times the previous ones. Okay, three times the previous ones, like the previous harvest. It would be three times the previous harvest. Now everybody, the courtiers, they actually started laughing at him. Okay, they started mocking him. Okay, so if we see about the mockery, we get to understand. Someone said that are these magical seeds? Okay, are these magical seeds? Or maybe he would say that even without water, the seeds can be sown. Okay, there is no need of water. You don't need water to grow this paddy seeds. Okay, I mean to grow this paddy. Okay, but Tenali Raman, our Tenali Raman is very witty, is very calm, having a very calm face. He replies, no, that is not the issue. But the thing is, the reply that was given by Tenali was, it's not the seed, but it is the person. The person who is important. The person who is important. Which person? The person who sows the seeds would be important. Now the king is confused, like, why will the person be important? We should think about the seed, not about the person who is sowing. Now Tenali gives the explanation. He tells, my dear Majesty, if while sowing, if while sowing the seeds, if while sowing the seeds, if while sowing the seeds, the man starts yawning, the man starts yawning, then the seeds will get scattered. The seeds will get scattered. Okay, the seeds will get scattered here and there. Here and there. The seeds will get scattered here and there. And what will happen? This will, or may this may negatively impact the very ills. Okay, this may negatively impact the very ills. Listening to this, the courtiers, everybody started laughing. Okay, they were amused by this argument given by Tenali. Now, hearing this, what happens? Hearing this comment of Tenali, the king himself starts yawning. Okay, and the time when he yawns, at that time he is reminded of his queen. He's reminded of his queen. Then he recalls how while listening to his story, the poem, while listening to his poem, the queen, what did she do? The queen yawned. The queen yawned, and this made him think that she was disrespecting him. Yes, and now the king understands that, as Tenali says, okay, let's take it as a next point. As Tenali here mentions that yawning is a natural phenomenon. Yes or no? Yawning is a natural phenomenon, and it is as simple as breathing. Yes or no? So, I mean, if breathing is not a crime, then yawning too is not a crime. Yes or no? So this very opinion opens the eyes of the king. Okay, opens the eyes of the king, and he realizes his mistake. And finally he reconciles with his wife, and the story comes to an end. Tenali Raman now feels he has been victorious in solving the problem, actually a very trivial problem, Okay, and if my students can recall, I had mentioned it to them that there was a line where it was said that the rays of sunlight can enter only through rays of sunlight can enter only through open windows which can allowing anybody to witness the richness present in the castle or in the court. Okay, so I told that this line is very important. And how did I explain it to you? Rays of sunlight being a metaphor for what? For rays of hope, and can enter only through, I told, open windows. Okay, this open windows is a metaphor for open mind. Clear? Allowing anybody to witness the richness present means, here again it is the metaphor that if you are open-minded, only then rays of hope can come in you, and through that you can witness the riches of the world, or that of your life. So this line is very important, as I have already mentioned. This line is very important. Question may come from this line, or while writing your answer you can use this line. Okay, this line is actually a metaphor for the whole poem, for the whole story. It is actually a metaphor for the whole story. So from here, if anybody asks you what is the teaching or what is the message that you have learned from here, teaching or message that you get from a story, what will you say? Anybody can comment me. Okay, the message that you have felt or that you have learned from the story. Okay, so we can understand the story actually teaches us that ego can lead us to what? Ego can lead us to misunderstanding, right? To misunderstanding. Ego can lead us to misunderstanding. Fine. Misunderstanding. But wisdom and humility can restore relationships. Clear? Can restore relationships. Is it clear, my students? So ego is that of the king, leading to misunderstanding with whom? With his wife. But wisdom and humility, which is possessed. Okay, wisdom and humility, this quality is being possessed by Tenali, help restore the relationships. Is it clear? So this is the main idea of the story. Now what we can think about the main themes which are there in the story. So if we talk about the themes that are present in the story, before I tell you the themes, before I tell you the themes, can my students mention or write down in the comment box what are the themes, prominent themes that they can find in the story? Yes, I'll give you 2 seconds to think. 1 and 2. Okay, so you've got your time. You can write down the themes in the comment box. Okay, I'll just provide you 6 or 7. If you think there are any more, obviously you can write it down. Okay, you can convey it to me. So the first theme that we get of is pride and ego. Why pride and ego? Because the king's pride in his poet leads to misunderstanding, and his ego actually prevents him from seeing the truth at first. What truth? That his queen was actually very tired, and it's not that she was being disrespectful to him. Got it? Second is theme of misunderstanding. Clear? The second thing we get, it is of misunderstanding. The misunderstanding, a simple yawning, okay, by the queen brought in misunderstandings, bringing gloominess in the palace, in the court of the king. Okay. Third, you can talk about is wisdom, wisdom and intelligence. Okay, wisdom and intelligence. Is it clear why wisdom and intelligence? You know very well. Tenali Rama uses his clever trick or clever idea to solve the problem. And this shows that intelligence is actually more powerful than force. Yes or no? So next we have humility. The next point we can talk about humility. Why humility? The king realizes his mistake. Okay, at last the king realizes his mistake and he begs for pardon. Okay, he apologizes before his queen. So accepting one's fault is also something which makes a person strong. It is the strength of a person. Humility does not mean you are a weak person, but it actually makes you very strong. Second thing is about forgiveness. Why? Because at last we see the queen, despite being misunderstood, forgives her king, okay, forgives her husband. So this actually helps in restoring or bringing back balance, peace in the relationship, okay. Sixth, you can talk about problem solving. How? The theme of problem solving through wit. Problem solving through wit. You can tell that this point and this point is correlated. Okay, how? The theme of problem solving. What was the problem? The problem was about this misunderstanding. How did he solve it? By bringing in the idea of paddy seeds. Okay, bringing the idea of paddy seed, which becomes a symbol for solving the misunderstanding or for solving the quarrel. Okay, this is a symbolic idea that was brought in by Tenali Rama. Got it? Next theme you can talk about is harmony, harmony and relationships. Okay, relationships. Now, what about harmony and relationships? The story actually highlights about the importance of maintaining peace in relationship. And the palace even, we see that the palace even becomes joyful after reconciliation. So whatever the relationship, be it between a husband and a wife, or be it amongst the people of a court, everything, these relationships can be well maintained only if there is harmony, there is reconciliation, and there is balance, proper balance. Okay, so these are the 7 most important themes that you get in the story. Now, my dear students, this is a trick that you can apply. We always say not hard work, but smart work is very important. So these 7 themes, if you prepare the 7 themes, I can ensure you that whatever question that comes for examination, you'll be able to solve it. Okay, focusing on this particular 7 themes only, your questions will be made. Questions on character can be made, questions on theme can be made, question on justification of the title can be made, any type of questions can be made. Is it clear, my dear students? Okay, so for today, okay, you get the summary of the story and the main idea of the story along with the themes that are important for your examination purpose. Okay, I don't want to make this video very long. For that reason, I want to keep the question answers for the next video. Okay, so my dear students, if you love my explanation, if you love the very analytical ways of analyzing the story, then do comment and share and subscribe to the channel so that afterwards when I'll be discussing with other lessons, you can get the notifications very easily. Okay, and any problem, feel free to just comment below and send me your queries. Okay, so if you want the question answers, that would be another exciting video. If you want the question answers, both of the exercise as well as some other important questions that will be important for your examination point of view, you can go and check it in the next video. Is it clear? Okay, thank you students. Thank you everybody.